Hi besties, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's video is going to be all about the topic of hair. A couple of months ago, I made a video titled "Your hair doesn't suck, it's just wavy," because ever since growing up, I used to try and style my hair one way without knowing that my hair was just naturally wavy and frizzy. And that video helped a lot of you guys figure out how to style your naturally wavy hair, and that makes me so happy because I wish I had someone telling me how to style my naturally wavy hair. However, some things have changed since that video. I basically learned that my hair is not only wavy and frizzy, but it's also low porosity. I'll insert a little before and after here of what my hair looked like before and what it looks like now after I style it. And even when it's naturally wavy, there is a huge difference when I do my routine differently than how I used to do it. Because if you have my hair type, then you know what a major difference it is when your hair feels and looks a certain way and then when it's like good. You know what I mean? So in the before, my hair was just really stringy. It was very weighed down. It was frizzy. It looked like it was oily almost, like I hadn't even washed it when I had just washed it and styled it that day. And in the after, my hair looks much more fresh. It looks flowy. It looks clean. It looks dry. Like there's such a big difference. And if you have my hair type, I know you get me. I know you get me if you have my hair type. Okay, I have to interject this intro for a second because I realized I completely forgot to give you signs or symptoms of low porosity hair. So if you're wondering, do I have low porosity hair? Here are some signs that you might have low porosity hair. First, does your hair take forever to get wet? That means when you are in the shower or even just using a spray bottle to your hair, do you feel like the water just sits right on top of your hair? Like you can see the water running down your hair. For me, when I'm in the shower, I literally have to just stand there for a second and make sure the water is really getting into my hair. Likewise, do you feel like your hair takes forever to dry? Like it could be hours and your hair is still not dry. Also, do you feel like products just sit on top of your hair? Like no matter how many products you use, no matter how much product you use, you feel like the product just sits right on top of your hair and causes this like stringy, build-up, greasy-like feeling to your hair. That could be a sign of low porosity hair. Also, frizziness could be a sign of low porosity hair. Do you feel like your fresh hair doesn't last long? Like maybe if you did a blowout, it would only last like 4 days, 3 days before your hair starts to feel and look very oily or like there's a lot of buildup. Does your hair look stringy? Like if you do this, it'll just look like string pieces of hair. Those are all signs that you could have low porosity hair. There's also a test for testing your hair strands, like physically testing your hair to see if you have low porosity. I'm going to show you somewhere on the screen or put a link in the description of how you can do this test. It just requires a string, like a piece of your hair, and a glass of water. It's a really cool test if you want to test your hair. But if you heard any of these signs and you're like, that sounds like my hair, then you could have low porosity hair and you should definitely keep watching for the routine, the tips, and the tricks. Today in this video, I'm going to show you how I style my hair with both heat and naturally now that I've learned that I have low porosity. So now I can be confident knowing that if I do my routine exactly how I'm supposed to do, if I use the products that I'm confident in, my hair will look good and it will turn out right. So let's go ahead and get into this video. I'm going to show you how I heat style my fine, wavy, frizzy, low porosity hair. Okay, shower is done. I've had my hair in this microfiber towel for a couple of minutes. I used to leave my hair in a microfiber towel literally for like half an hour until I figured out that my hair performs better when I put products in my hair while my hair is still wet or damp, especially if you're trying to style it naturally, which we're not going to do today. So just for the sake of it, we're only going to focus on heat styling it, aka giving it a blow dry or curling iron or flat iron, whatever whatever heat styling you tend to do, this routine should work for you. So my hair is still damp. Here is how we're going to style it. First, I want to go over the type of products that you should be using. This is product number 1 that I'm going to be using. This is a detangler. It's also got heat protection. So it's got a whole bunch of benefits in one. Then this is the second product that we're going to be using. This is the Gizu Honey Infused Hair Repair Serum. And I want you to notice how this serum is very watery, very liquidy, okay? The third product that we're going to be using is the Fable & Mane Detangling Leave-In Conditioner. Another thing that I want you to notice is that this has a nozzle to spray it, okay? It's not a squeeze tube, it's got a nozzle. And the fourth product, when our hair is finally styled, is the Gizu Hair Oil. You know, for the sake of this video, I do want to switch it up. I don't want to use a bunch of Gizu, so we're going to use the Olaplex Bonding Oil, but really you can use any hair oil that you'd like. So I want you to notice that all of these products, this one has a spray nozzle, this one is a little dropper serum tube. None of these products are thick. None of these products are squeeze tube. So if you have products like these two that are both squeeze tubes, you see how you have to literally squeeze the product out? That means that these products are thicker, they're creamier, and they're also going to be heavier for your hair. So because these products are able to be sprayed by a nozzle, that means they're very liquidy, they're very lightweight. So first rule is you want to steer away from heavy products like these that you have to squeeze out of a tube, and aim for products like these that are very liquidy, very lightweight, that you can literally just spray onto your hair. So we're gonna go in with product number 1. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. You see how I didn't go crazy with the spray? You see how I didn't go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2. No, just 3 sprays is enough. Especially if you have fine hair like me, trust me, I already don't have a lot of hair. I don't need that much product. That is a problem with low porosity hair. Because low porosity hair tends to feel or look drier or even look dull, people think that you need more product, that you need to add more hydration, more moisture, therefore you need more product, and that is not the case. On the other hand, low porosity hair requires way less product. Low porosity hair, there are cuticles on your hair, just like we have cuticles on our nails. There are cuticles on your hair shaft. So each strand of hair has tiny little cuticles all over the hair. Because the cuticles are so close together, it's way harder for water to penetrate into the hair shaft. It's also harder for any hydrating products to also penetrate into the hair shaft, which is why a lot of people think, oh, I have low porosity hair, it's harder for my hair to absorb products and water, which means I should apply more. And that is not the case. That's actually wrong. Now for high porosity hair, obviously the cuticles are the opposite, so they're further apart, which means water penetrates more easily and products also penetrate more easily, so you can use more product, you can use different products, heavier products, and your hair will basically just absorb it all. But for low porosity hair, your hair basically has a hard time absorbing water and hydrating products. So that is why, again, most people think, oh, I should use more, no, in fact, you should use less products and less of these like creamier, like thicker products, because basically it's just gonna sit right on top of your hair, which is what causes your hair to look very weighed down, very heavy, very stringy and oily, like there's a whole bunch of buildup. That is what causes that. So make sure you're using lightweight. You see how this is basically just water. Make sure you're using lightweight products. And again, as you saw, I only did 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Less is more when it comes to low porosity hair. So we're gonna use this serum next, and I only use about 2.5 droppers worth, and I mix it into my hands. Make sure it's well broken apart here, and spread it into my hair. Make sure you're basically focusing it more on the ends and not at your roots, because that is what causes your roots to get oily very quickly. If your roots tend to get oily super quickly, you definitely have low porosity hair. We're gonna go in with our third product, and this is the Leave-In Conditioner by Fable & Mane. And again, 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna flip it. 1, 2, 3. That is all you need. Trust me. I have been there where you're tempted to use more and you think, maybe a little bit more would just make my hair feel so soft and glossy. No, that is the biggest mistake. I literally had to rewire my brain and train myself. Basically stop using so much product. Like I used to go in with, I'd be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like no, less is more when it comes to low porosity hair. Now I'm not saying that you can't use these products. You can use heavier products. Just use very very, very little. There's no need for you to be applying like a quarter size of this. Like this is thick air dry cream. This is really thick stuff. Now something that I do, if I do want to use a heavier, creamier product, I basically just minimize the amount of products that I use or the steps that I do. So I'll do the detangler first and then I'll go straight in with the cream, and that is all I will use. I know people think, ooh, I should be using like 3-5 products. Trust me, that is probably the worst thing you're gonna do for your hair. The more products you use, the more steps there are, the more you're putting into your hair, the more you are weighing it down. It sounds so simple, it sounds like duh, like obviously, but that's just something that I wouldn't click in my head. Like I would just use and use and use products, use different steps, use more product, and that was what was weighing down my hair. So that is basically it. My hair is now detangled. It's heat prepped thanks to this Redken multi all-in-one treatment. This also has heat protection. So products that have a whole bunch of steps in one are going to be your saving grace, because that means you don't have to do a whole bunch of different steps, different products. You can just use one and you get heat protection, you get detangler, you get multiple things in one. Now the last thing that I want to note is the order that I use these products in. First, this is basically water. This is the first product that I use. Then I use this, okay? Almost kind of watery, right? It's like a serum. And then I use this one. This one's a little heavier, a little thicker. It's a conditioner. I can still spray it though. But the order that I use these products in go from more lightweight to heaviest, okay? Do you see what I did here? Like first, use your most lightweight products. So products that are the closest to water, use those first. And then last, you're gonna build up to heavier, thicker conditioners or leave-in creams, whatever you decide to use. Just make sure you're using it kind of in that order. It's the same way you apply skincare. First go your toners and your essences, and then at the very end you have your moisturizers and your oils. It's the same thing, lightweight to heaviest products. Same thing for your hair. Okay, I know that was a lot of information, but once you memorize all those rules, trust me, it will come so naturally to you. Basically, you just want to remember less is more. Use less amount of products, less steps, minimize the steps, the amount of products that you're putting in your hair, and also less of each product. So use less of each product. You don't have to like use half the tube on your hair, because that's not going to do your hair any good. Your hair is not going to absorb more. It's just going to start to sit right on top. So now that my hair is prepped, I leave it for a few minutes just to give it a little bit of time to kind of at least absorb the products that I just put in it. And then we're gonna blow dry it, we're gonna heat style it. I'm gonna show you what it's gonna look like at the end. For styling your wavy hair, the same rules still apply, just a little bit different because obviously you're styling your wavy natural hair. But I'll show you guys in a few minutes what that's gonna look like and anything that's different. The shower routine still apply, less is more still applies. Like those are the basic fundamental rules you want to remember for your hair. Okay, let's go ahead and heat style this hair and I will be right back. Okay, we finished heat styling our hair. Now I'm gonna use some hair oil. Now when it comes to the hair oil, same rule applies, only a few drops. Not 7, not 8, not anything more than 5, honestly. Like 1, oh, that was already 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. This is some heavy duty oil, okay? I warm it up with my hands, make sure it gets in between my fingers, and I start off at the ends, basically just focusing it on the ends because I don't want my hair to look weighed down and I don't want it to basically get a whole bunch of oil and built up dirt in like day 3. So I make sure to only focus it on the ends to mid ends. I slowly start working my way up to my mid ends. And I get a little bit of my curtain bangs, but that is it. I do not apply this all over my roots. Trust me, you do not want to do that. Make sure after you've applied all your products, if you're going to be touching your hair some more, wash your hands. And while we're on that note, also make sure that you're not touching your hair all day. If you're touching your hair all day, trust me, it's going to get oilier. There's going to be a whole bunch of grease and build up way quicker. Like I've seen people that just like touch their hair, play with their hair all day, and it just gets dirtier quicker. And you're going to have to wash it. Your blow's not going to last as long. But if you want your heat style to last you days, do not touch it and mess with it and flick it. Like, trust me. These are the final results of heat styling my hair. This is what my hair looks like. It looks so fresh and clean. It doesn't look weighed down. It doesn't look stringy. It also doesn't feel weighed down or stringy. Like, it just feels way more fresh and clean than it used to. Like, back in the day, you know, back in the day when I used to do my hair, like, it would never be this flowy, okay? It would never just flow like this. And my hair, besides looking and feeling better, it also looks healthier. Like, I can't explain it, but it just looks shinier. It looks just healthier. Like, it looks less dull, less weighed down, less stringy. And even my ends especially just don't look so dry and split. So that was how I now style my low porosity hair, specifically heat style. If on day 2, 3, or even right now you feel like there is some oiliness or still some buildup, I definitely recommend getting a dry shampoo. I love this one by Nature Lab Tokyo. This is a rice powder dry shampoo, and basically when you spray it, it looks like powder. Do you see that? This is my favorite dry shampoo because it's so lightweight and fine. Like, it's just little specks of powder. Ever since I learned how to style my hair, I'm actually way more obsessed with it. Tell me it doesn't look good. Tell me it doesn't look good. Alright besties, that was my tutorial for how to heat style your low porosity hair. I'm going to show you now how to naturally style your wavy or curly, I'm sure this would work for both hair types, low porosity hair. Alright, I just showered, my hair is freshly damp, and now I'm going to show you my routine for when I want to wear my hair naturally or wavy. First thing I still use is my detangler. Also, it looks like I'm not wearing a shirt, but I am wearing a shirt. First thing I use is my detangler, and same rules apply, okay? When you're wearing your hair wavy or naturally versus when you're heat styling, most of the same rules still apply, which is that you still don't want to be using a whole bunch of products, and you still want to be using little of each product. Sometimes I'll go in with the brush and I don't really care, but when I'm trying to keep my hair naturally wavy, I do not want to ruin the pattern of the waves or the pattern of your curls, whichever one you have, and go in with the brush, which is just gonna kind of like drag everything down. So I like to use a comb, and honestly, the wider tooth comb you have, the better, especially if your hair is really curly or very wavy. My hair is like slightly wavy. I want to say it's like in between wavy and curly, to where like sometimes some strands of my hair have like curls, but for the most part my hair is just like wavy. I always used to be so jealous of girls that like could shower and just let their hair air dry and it would just be straight. My friend has hair like that, and I'm like, I do not like you. Like, why does your hair do that? Just do that. Mine does not do that. Okay, so now that my hair is all detangled and combed out, we're gonna go in with product number 1, which is the Gizu Hair Repair Serum. This is the same hair serum I used for when I heat styled my hair, but I honestly can't help it. I just love this hair serum so much that I basically use it for every single routine. And again, I didn't show you how much I applied, but it was definitely dimes worth. Like, you do not need that much product. Now for our cream product, I'm debating either using this detangling leave-in conditioner that I used earlier or the Redken Frizz Dismiss. I think I'm gonna use this one. I've actually been loving using this one for like a solid, I want to say it's almost been 2 years now, and this is how much I'm using. And I love this product. Honestly, it works really well for my hair, especially when I'm wearing it wavy or naturally. Now notice how I'm running the product through my hair and then I'm like scrunching my hair. That is one of the main differences in when you're styling your wavy naturally hair versus when you plan on heat styling it, is that eventually you want to start kind of scrunching the product in there just to bring the pattern of your waves or your curls back to life, especially after just having combed it or applied other products. Also, you guys, I actually have a full video now about my in-depth routine on how I style my naturally wavy hair up on my channel already. If you want to check that out, I basically run through everything that I'm telling you here, but much more in depth. The purpose of this video is just to show you how to style your low porosity wavy hair, but if you want more details or tips or tricks in how to style your naturally wavy hair, or maybe you don't even know that you have naturally wavy hair, then definitely check that video out. Okay, now the main biggest difference in when I heat style my hair versus when I leave it to be styled naturally is that I usually use a mousse or a gel at the end of my routine, because let's be real, if you have wavy or curly hair, then you need a mousse or some gel at the end of it. Like, I cannot just leave my hair like this. It will be a little bit frizzy and it just never looks as good as when I use a mousse. And I love this Weightless Volume Mousse by Pureology. I feel like it's the only mousse that doesn't make my hair feel really crunchy or weighed down. Like, it genuinely just like holds and gives it some shape. I literally only use this much, okay? It looks like a lot, but the nature of mousse is very like It's not that much. So what I do is I run it through my hair before I scrunch it. So I make sure that my hair is like well coated in it. And then I start to lightly scrunch it into my hair. And I flip my hair without doing like a whole bunch, because then you kind of just start to flatten your hair. And I start scrunching it more aggressively. And you can do like a scrunch and hold like this. And then I use whatever is left over on my hands, on my roots, because the same thing still applies. You don't want to be applying a whole bunch of product to your roots, because it will start to weigh down your entire hair, and your hair will get greasy way earlier, and you will need a hair wash way sooner. I'm done styling my hair. It doesn't really look like anything right now because it's still wet, but once it dries down, I'll be back to show you the final results. Alright guys, ignore the fact that I changed my top, but this is my hair fully dried. Again, my very natural wavy hair. This is what it looks like fully dry after I showed you the low porosity routine. Alright besties, that concludes my video on how to style low porosity hair. I hope this video helped you learn how to style your hair, so therefore you can also learn to love your hair. And don't forget to subscribe, and good luck on your hair journey. Love you besties.